You're pulled over for a broken taillight. The officer walks up and says, "I just have a few quick questions." Sounds harmless, right? But that single sentence is built on a legal myth that gets thousands of people arrested every year. Every day, police use 5 common myths to make you give up your rights without even realizing it. These aren't lies exactly. They're carefully crafted statements designed to make you believe you have less power than you actually do. I've spent years analyzing traffic stop procedures and reviewing hundreds of body cam videos. I've studied the Supreme Court cases that define your actual rights, and the gap between what police imply and what the law actually requires is massive. In the next few minutes, I'll expose the 5 most dangerous legal myths police count on you believing, and I'll give you the exact words that break each myth. Let's jump right in. Myth number 1. You have to answer our questions. Here's the myth. When a police officer asks you questions, you're legally required to answer them. This is the foundation of almost every bad traffic stop. The officer asks, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And most people answer because they believe they have to. Picture this. The officer says, "Where are you coming from tonight?" You respond, "Just from dinner." He follows up, "Had anything to drink?" You say, "Just 1 beer." You just gave him probable cause for a DUI investigation. Here's the legal reality. Outside of identifying yourself, you have 0 obligation to answer police questions. This comes from the 5th Amendment. The exact words are, "Officer, I'm invoking my right to remain silent." Say it calmly but clearly. Here's the critical part. You must say these words out loud. In Salinas versus Texas, the Supreme Court ruled that just staying quiet isn't enough. You have to explicitly invoke the 5th Amendment. When the officer starts fishing, you respond, "Officer, I'm invoking my right to remain silent." If he says, "Got something to hide?" you repeat, "I'm invoking my right to remain silent." Bottom line, you never have to answer investigative questions. Myth number 2. If you have nothing to hide, you shouldn't mind. The myth, refusing to cooperate means you're guilty of something. Officers use this psychological trick constantly. They'll say, "If you're not doing anything wrong, why not just let me take a quick look?" They make refusal seem suspicious. Here's what really happens. You say okay because you don't want to look guilty. The officer searches your car. He finds your friend's prescription medication. Now you're being questioned about drug possession? The legal reality? The 4th Amendment protects you against unreasonable searches. Period. Listen to this trap. Officer, you don't have anything illegal, right? You, no, officer. Officer, so you wouldn't mind if I took a quick look? No matter how you answer, they'll claim you consented. The exact words that break this myth. Officer, I do not consent to any searches. Clear, unambiguous, polite but firm. The officer might threaten to get a warrant, but here's the truth. If he had enough for a warrant, he wouldn't be asking permission. Your refusal cannot be used as evidence against you. That's established law. Bottom line, never consent to a search. Myth number 3. We can search your car anyway. The myth. Police can search your vehicle whenever they want during a traffic stop. After you refuse consent, many officers will say, "Fine, I'll search it anyway. I've got probable cause." This makes most people think the game is over. Here's the legal reality. For a warrantless vehicle search, police need actual probable cause. That's a legal standard. They need specific, articulable facts that evidence of a crime will be found. Wrong approach. Officer says, "I'm searching anyway." You say nothing. Now, even if the search was illegal, you made it easy. Right approach. Officer says, "I'm searching anyway." You say, "Officer, I do not consent to this search. For the record, I'm stating my objection." You're not physically stopping them. You're creating a clear record that you did not give permission. If they search without valid probable cause, your attorney can file a motion to suppress evidence. From Rodriguez versus United States, we know police cannot prolong a stop without reasonable suspicion. The exact words, "I do not consent to any searches. I'm stating my objection for the record." Bottom line, make them justify the search. Myth number 4, staying silent makes you look guilty. The myth, if you're innocent, you should just explain yourself, and everything will be fine. This myth destroys more cases than almost any other. People think explaining will help, so they talk themselves into handcuffs. Officer, were you texting back there? Wrong response. I was just checking my GPS for 1 second. You just confessed to distracted driving. Right response. Officer, I'm invoking my right to remain silent. Here's the psychology. We're taught from childhood that silence equals guilt. Police training specifically exploits this. But here's the legal truth. Silence is your constitutional right. Once you invoke it, that invocation cannot be used against you. The exact invocation. Officer, I'm invoking my Fifth Amendment right. I won't be answering questions without an attorney present. If the officer says, "Why do you need a lawyer if you didn't do anything wrong?" you respond, "I'm invoking my right to remain silent and my right to an attorney." You're not explaining, not justifying. You're exercising a right that belongs to you. Your silence cannot be commented on at trial, but anything you say will be used against you. Bottom line, silence is strength, not guilt. Myth number 5. We're just trying to help you out here. The myth, the officer is on your side and wants to make this easier for you. This is the most dangerous myth because it sounds so reasonable. The officer uses a friendly tone. Look, I'm trying to help you here. Just be straight with me. Here's what's really happening. Officers are trained in interview techniques designed to build false rapport. The officer says, "Between you and me, just tell me what happened, and I'll see what I can do." This feels like he's your friend. He's not. He's building a case. The legal reality? Police can legally lie to you. They can claim they have evidence they don't have. They can promise leniency they can't deliver. When an officer says he's trying to help, what he really means is he's trying to build a prosecutable case. The exact response, "Officer, I appreciate that, but I'm invoking my right to remain silent. I'd like to speak with an attorney." If he keeps pushing, I'm exercising my constitutional rights. I won't be answering questions without my attorney present. This language is respectful, but absolutely firm. Bottom line, the officer's job is investigation, not friendship. Here's what it all comes down to. These 5 myths exist because they work. Most people believe them. But now you know the truth. You know the 4 phrases that protect you. First, am I free to leave? Second, I'm invoking my right to remain silent. Third, I want to speak with an attorney. Fourth, I do not consent to any searches. Memorize these phrases because when red and blue lights are flashing, your brain will go blank unless these are automatic. Stay calm. Stay polite. Stay firm. Your tone matters as much as your words. Remember, this is educational content only, not legal advice. Always consult with a qualified attorney in your state. If this helped you, hit that like button and subscribe. Share this with someone who needs to know their rights. Knowledge is power, but only if you use it